Thank you, Senator Wyden. Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here today. You'll recall when we talked in my office that we discussed the infrastructure challenges at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, in Golden, Colorado. As you know, this lab is an incredibly high priority for me and my great state. During my time in the Senate, funding for the lab has grown by nearly 50%, and I'm grateful for the support from my colleagues for this incredible lab. While it's exciting to see the growth of NREL's research and the work they're doing, with that challenge, of course, and the expansion of their work and the successful partnerships in the private sector they've created, comes the challenge of adequate lab and office spaces. And so I was grateful to see the appropriators this Congress provide additional support and funding to NREL's facilities account in the FY20 Energy and Water Development Appropriations Bill. This will certainly help with badly needed lab space and support the transformation of the National Wind Technology Center from a single program site for wind to a multiple program campus called the Flatirons that also includes solar and batteries and the accompanying research. The FY21 budget fails to build on this success, and I think you'll agree with me on how important it is to invest in equipment and facilities that support innovation, helps attract and retain talent, and enables partnerships that transition the national lab's research to commercial products. And I can see that impact on the ground each and every day in Colorado. So I hope you'll work with me and Congress as we look forward to support level funding for the next fiscal year.
I will indeed, Senator. I'm very familiar, and thank you for the time that you spent with me to articulate not only the history and the context behind some of the efforts that you've put forth at NREL, but talking about the future and what it looks like. And I think it's very important that we continue the expansion. I've met with Martin Keller, the lab director there, numerous times, and he's explained to me the constraints that are being placed on the lab through the limited office space, the limited laboratory space that he has available to him. I am committed to that. I'm committed to working with some of the private sector partners as well who have expressed interest in helping us develop some of the resources outside of the lab complex in certain cases. National companies like Wells Fargo and others have expressed interest in joining the lab in that effort, so I look forward to working with them. I give you my assurance we'll continue this project and continue this process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Thank you. This committee has passed several bills relating to grid modernization and grid security that are part of the American Energy Innovation Act we are considering on the floor this week. Underpinning all of this, of course, is cybersecurity. I note that the new Office of Cybersecurity, Energy Security, and Emergency Response, or CSER, is addressing the challenge of securing today's energy infrastructure from cyber attacks, and thank you for that work. But I'm interested in whether or not there is a requirement in DOE's applied energy programs to ensure adequate resources and attention are given to incorporating cybersecurity early in the design of emerging energy technologies rather than bolting security on after the deployment onto the grid. Is there a process enabling CSER to assist these programs? And within the the other applied energy programs, as research matures to the point of commercialization, how is the importance of grid security communicated to industry? And are they the questions that really are inward facing to DOE or outward facing to industry? How do we address those issues?
We do have a very robust program within CSER to share the technologies and share some of the applied research within DOE with the industry itself. We do that in a number of different ways. One is just direct interaction with the Office of CSER, with utility executives, with other industry executives. The other way we do this is through a very formal process with the Electric Sector Coordinating Council. That's where we sit down and we talk about events that are happening in real time on the grid and address what responses we're going to use to attack them. We have the CRISP program, which is an acronym that I can't remember right at the moment because we have an acronym for everything in government service. But these are programs where we interact directly with the industry and share both experiences and new technologies coming online. And it's a two-way conversation. The other thing that we have worked closely on are some of the newer technologies coming to market. And I'll just share real quickly with something that we are very excited about that relates to cybersecurity, if not directly, then tangentially. And that is the creation of a quantum entangled internet, which we have now put about 52 miles of service in the Chicago area. University of Chicago, Argonne, Fermi Lab are utilizing this technology now. It's a closed circuit quantum internet, which in many respects obviates the need for cybersecurity, encryption, things like that. So it's a new technology that we hope at one point, if we can get support from Congress to apply to all of our national laboratories and eventually move out into the public domain with our utilities as well.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Chairman.